The meeting will now come to order. This is the administrative public meeting of the Commission on the Social Status of Black Men and Boys. It is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, January 14, 2022. I want to extend a Happy New Year and sincere welcome to the commissioners, to the commission staff, and to our public audience. I want to welcome you back to the platform. It was I had a wonderful opportunity at the last meeting to meet all of you and to hear from all of you and to listen to the wonderful contributions you
additional,
make.
supervisory 15s in one division and keep people under the same hood. That would be the alternate mode. Yeah.
That you hope to make in this space. It was wonderful. And some of you have had some of the most heartfelt, wonderful stories to tell and experiences. And so we're going to remain vigilant in combating education, justice and civil rights, healthcare, labor and employment, housing, and all of the other issues that stagnate and in the worst cases kill our Black men and boys. I don't know whether I had the opportunity to tell you, but I'm Frederica Wilson. I'm the commissioner, uh, your chair of this commission. And when I was a school principal, I had a school that was 1/3 African American, 1/3 Hispanic, and 1/3 Anglo. And for some reason, with all of the children I had in my school, my little Black boys were just like out of control. So I would go to school early every morning to meet them at the door, to give them a hug, hoping that they would behave all day long, but they wouldn't. So I would meet with them every Wednesday and talk to them and try to find out. I said, why are you fighting? Why do you don't you listen to the teacher? Why are you talking back? What is the matter with you? And they really didn't know themselves. So I began to do home visits and I began to find out that they did not have not one adult male in their space, not a grandpa, not a daddy, no one to help them. So I began to call in men into my school to help move them forward. And they changed. They changed right before my eyes. So I was making good progress. And then Jesse and Giles graduated and they went on to American Senior High School. So every day I would stay in my school very late. All of the high school students would come back and they would tell me all the different things that was going on. Lo and behold, Jesse killed, shot. Jesse shot Giles. And when he shot him, I said, that's it. I was 48 years old, school principal, making $75,000 a year. I quit my job and ran for the school board with the express purpose of interrupting the school to prison pipeline. The program is 30 years old, was 30 years old in November. I'm almost 80 years old, and I am determined for this nation to interrupt the school to prison pipeline because I personally know that every African American family has some brother, cousin, daddy, grandfather, father, nephew, uncle who is embroiled in some kind of way in the criminal justice system, and we should be able to prevent this. So I'm all about prevention. I have two cousins who are in and out of prison. They're in and out of prison, and their mother kept it a secret from me so long, I didn't know until they were in prison. But I think that if I had known, I would have stopped them from even going to prison. So we've got to think about our own families, our own universe, our church children, our neighbors, and especially our family members, in preventing them from broaching the criminal justice system first. And then we're going to think about this for the whole universe of Black America, because it's everywhere. And everywhere I go and speak, I challenge people in the audience, come and see me after this event and let me know that you do not have anyone in your family embroiled in this debacle. And I never get a soul to come. So this commission is not built on politics. This is a bipartisan commission. It's built on humanity, empathy, unification, dedication, persistence, but most importantly, the desire for change. So we must create stronger communities and a healthier society for everyone, which includes Black men and boys. Today, we can incorporate and strengthen our expertise to make this what we're going to call the year of Black men and boys. Every time I was elected, when I was elected to the school board, they say, oh, you won because it's the year of the woman. I was elected to the Florida House of Representatives. They say, oh, you won because it's the year of the woman. I was elected to the Florida Senate. They say, oh, you won because it's the year of the woman. When I was elected to Congress, everybody said, oh, you won because it's the year of the woman. So I have so many years of the woman, and I am so proud of that. And we're going to declare that 2022 is the year of the Black men and boys. So we'll be talking more about that. I'm going to now ask Mr. Mauro Morales to bring greetings to our commission. He's the staff director of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. Mr. Mauro, welcome. How are you, my friend? And Happy New Year.
Same to you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for the opportunity to say a few words of welcome. I just want to congratulate you on the tremendous job you're doing and the work you're doing and all the staff is doing. We're trying to stand up and crawl and get this commission running. So thank you for all that. I just want to wish you and everybody a good afternoon. I wish all the commissioners, the Commission on Social Status of Black Men and Boys, the staff, and the public when they get to see this live stream and they get to see it when we were able to post it. I am Mauro Morales, the Commission on Civil Rights staff director. I'm honored that we are able to house the Commission on the Social Status of Black Men and Boys within the structure of the commission, and we serve the administrative functions for it. We look forward to continuing to support the endeavors and priorities of the Commission on the Social Status of Black Men and Boys. And with that, I thank you, and I'll turn the meeting back over to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And now, Dr. Williams, will you call the roll so we can establish a quorum?
Yes, Madam Chair. Per the statute, a majority of the members of the commission, that is 10 members, constitute a quorum. To establish a quorum, each member's name will be called. Please note your presence by saying here. Representative Joyce Beatty.
Here.
Representative Frederica S. Wilson.
Here.
Representative Hakeem Jeffries.
Here.
Representative Lucy McBath.
Here.
Representative Steve Horsford said that he is out sick today, so I know he will not be on the call. Representative Jamal Bowman.
Here.
Representative, Commissioner Jack Brewer.
Here.
Commissioner Elder said he had a conflict today. He will not be at the meeting. Commissioner Joseph Marshall.
Present.
Commissioner Al Sharpton, Reverend Al Sharpton.
He will be late. Reverend Al Sharpton is tuning in late.
Okay, ma'am. Commissioner OJ Olika.
I am here. I'll have to leave early at 2 p.m.
Okay, noted, sir. Commissioner Marshall Dillard.
Here.
Commissioner Christine Clark. Kristen
Here.
Clark. Commissioner Calvin Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner LaShawn McIver.
Here.
Okay, great. Thank you, ma'am. I know you were calling in. Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Christian Rhodes said that he would not be able to attend because of urgent matter. Commissioner Richard Caesar.
Here.
Commissioner Thomas M. Colclough.
Here.
Commissioner Gerald Faustin.
Here.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Ma'am, for the record, please note that a quorum of the commissioners is present, and I will turn it back over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Each of you received a copy of the inaugural meeting minutes by way of email. Are there any corrections to the minutes as distributed? If there are no corrections, we will approve the minutes as so distributed. The next order of business will be, well, we have Mr. Sharpton. We'll move on. We have a motion. I need a motion to approve the agenda. Will someone approve the agenda?
So moved.
I move, so move, or second.
Okay, so it's been approved by Commissioner Olika and seconded by our chairwoman of the Congressional Black Caucus, Ms. Beatty. Without objection, this agenda for the meeting is adopted. The act establishing our commission required that we meet quarterly, at least 4 times a year. In addition to the required meetings, we have been given the task of completing an extensive and comprehensive annual report that will include recommendations to address current conditions affecting Black men and boys. You have been provided potential dates for the next 3 meetings from the program manager for consideration. I'm now opening the floor for a motion to adopt the proposed dates and for discussion. January 14th, which is today, that will not count as one of our meetings. So we will begin with April 22nd, 2022, July 8th, 2022, November 4th, 2022, and we will notify you of a new date when we roll out the official beginning of the commission. Once COVID relaxes itself, we will have an official rollout in Washington, D.C. with all of the members of the Congressional Black Caucus, the commission, and our civil rights partners. So right now we're voting on April 22nd, July 8th, and November 4th, 2022. I need a motion to accept those dates.
I move to accept the dates for the quarterly meetings for the commission.
Commission
And I second.
moved and seconded, moved by Commissioner Macbeth and seconded by Commissioner Dillard.
Yes.
So those dates we will submit to the staff for us to work towards. Given that the tentative dates for the commission's statutorily required meetings have been determined, we will now discuss the importance of subcommittee areas. I have moved forth, and just from my knowledge of what we should do as far as keeping this commission moving, because 4 meetings is not enough. So I have divided you into committees, and you will meet with those the people on your committees. We're hoping you will begin to meet once we staff up to where we should be. And we're going to be we're going to need Mr. Jeffries' help in this for sure, and also Ms. Clark for sure. Commissioner Jeffries and Commissioner Clark for sure, because we want to use the judiciary space for our hearings. So each of these committees, we're hoping will have a hearing so that we can use that particular space. And these hearings will include witnesses that the committees will come up with, and we will have our staffing these, and also members of the Congressional Black Caucus will be invited to testify and to serve on these committee hearings. For education, we have Rhodes, Olika, Marshall, Bowman, and Dillard. We're going to ask Rhodes to chair and Olika to chair that particular meeting. Mr. Marshall, Bowman, Dillard, Olika, and Rhodes. So I'm hoping that you all will set up a group text. Mr. Bowman, I'm going to charge you with that, of setting up a group text so that you can keep in touch with these education committee members and plan a hearing so that we can work towards helping our youth. It has to do with school performance and retention, mentorship, disparate treatment and discipline, the gap between college graduates and employment and pay. So that's what you will be focused on. And then the next one is criminal justice and civil rights. So we have Clark, Jeffries, Sharpton, Macbeth, and Foster. So Ms. Clark, Commissioner Clark, and Jeffries, I'm going to task you with setting up a group text so that you can keep up, because when we deal with criminal justice and civil rights, we're going to be talking about violence, drug abuse, arrest and incarceration rates, homicide rates, police reform, and sentencing disparities. This is the subcommittee that I'm hoping will take us on a field trip to a federal prison and a juvenile detention center. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. If you would like to participate on one of these committees that you have not been assigned, please feel free to do so. Then we have healthcare and housing, McIver, Johnson, Beatty, and Brewer. This has to do with drug abuse, health, life expectancy, death rates, fatherhood, housing, household structure, and COVID-19 effects. Ms. Beatty, I don't want to put nothing on you because you got your hands full. But I want you participating on this. And we're going to ask McIver and Johnson to co-chair this committee for sure. And then we have labor and employment. We have Horsefoot, Elder, and Colca as members, and Caesar. This has to do with disparate income, wealth, upward mobility, workforce participation, and financial literacy. Any questions?
Yes, Madam Chair, I've got a quick question.
Who is that speaking?
This is Commissioner Oleka.
Oleka, okay.
Just for clarification, you have put me on the Education Committee. I'm very happy to serve. I want to make sure that I got my position right. I think I'm a co-chair with Representative Bowman. Is that correct? Or is it just him as chairman?
No, you are co-chair with him, the commissioner. You can't say representative now. You have to say.
Yes, ma'am, Commissioner. That's right. You charged us. We are all commissioners. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. And
Commissioner Wilson, may I ask a question?
who is that asking?
Commissioner Marshall? Thank you for this Education Committee. I have a question. Is there a chance to serve or at least be part of more than one committee? Aside from being an educator, I was on the police commission out here for 14 years. So I'm very interested in police reform and also working with young people in the institutions. I'll defer to you. Just tell me if that's possible.
Oh, so yes, Commissioner Marshall, we would love to have you serve on more than one committee. So that would be the Criminal Justice and Civil Rights. So we'll put Dr. Joseph Marshall, Commissioner Marshall, on that committee also.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or concerns?
Madam Chair, this is Jack Brewer.
Yes.
I just wanted to offer my services, particularly when it comes to criminal justice. If I don't need to be on the actual committee, but I do oversee the human rights in dozens of prisons across the country. So I'm more than happy to offer my expertise, support, or help in anything that you're doing in that regard.
Thank you. And what these committees won't operate in a silo. They're going to operate as a whole. They'll plan the hearing, but all of us will participate in the hearing. And if we have suggestions or people that we want to refer to them to serve as witnesses, and normally in our hearings, we have 5-minute presentations and 5 minutes for questions. These are going to be 3 minutes because we want to get as many people there. We want to have a young man from a juvenile detention center to speak to us, a young man from a high school to speak to us. We want to have someone who has served time in prison to speak to us. I know, many who will speak to us. We're going to talk about have police reform, people who have, and we, of course, the civil rights community will be helping us with those. I have formed an ad hoc committee with Reverend Sharpton and Commissioner Beatty, and I will be chairing that. She's busy right now, but I'll let her know. Okay. All of us will be moving in the same space. And so labor is Sagard and Horsefoot are the co-chairs. Did you all get that? Okay. So we won't be, I'm not expecting you to do all of this now because we have not staffed up, and you're going to need staff to help you with this. But we're in the process of hiring. And once we're staffed up, we'll send out a notice, then you can begin having your committee meetings. And right now, I'm gonna ask for the I think I had you to approve the minutes as they were. Yes, Mr. Olika approved the minutes.
Chairperson Wilson, this is Marshall Dillard.
Yes.
Can I have the list of names again for those who are on the Committee for Education there?
Okay, for education, let me find my education.
I have that for you, ma'am.
Okay, who's education?
Ma'am, it's Commissioner Rhodes, Commissioner Olika, Commissioner Marshall, Commissioner Bowman, and Commissioner Dillard.
So you are on education.
Thank you.
Would you like to be on something else too?
Well,
Or is
if you would like to put me on something else, I wouldn't mind, but that's fine.
It's up to you. After reading your bio and everything, I think education is a good fit. However,
Yeah, I agree.
if you want to not, if you want to stir the pot, you can. Okay. We will now turn the meeting over to the program manager for the program manager's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I'm putting that over here.
I just want to offer a few words of comments in my report as I manage the day-to-day activity of the commission. So again, I want to say good afternoon. There are 3 items I want to highlight and bring to your attention. 1 is staffing, 2 is general support, and 3 are the current studies and research on Black men and boys. In terms of staff, as Chair Wilson has already spoken of, I have 1 full-time support services specialist of who you have been in contact with, and 1 full-time attorney who is a contractor. Also, I have 1 part-time contractor responsible for media communications and outreach. Within the next couple of months or so, I will attempt to hire a full-time media communications director and a full-time administrator, and that will help us a long way in getting to where we need to be as a commission.
What? I'm sorry.
That said, please note, ma'am, did you have a question, ma'am? No? Okay. That said, please know that our staff is here to support you in every way possible. Feel free to contact us via email or phone. Should you have any inquiries regarding study and research, I will respond within 24 hours. My final comments are basically food for thought. Each week, I spend a considerable amount of time keeping up with current studies relating to Black men and boys in America. On 8 December 2021, the Center for Economic Policy and Research published an article outlining the national economic impact of the employment disparity among Black men. Some of you may have already read that article. In short, the article concluded that joblessness among Black men costs the US approximately $50 billion in revenue to Black families and communities. Closing the gap will make a significant reduction in Black poverty. I raise this as something to think about as the commissioners approach the work that is in front of you. Thank you for your time this afternoon, and I look forward to working with you, Madam Chair, and commissioners. Ma'am, back over to you.
I think you have to unmute, Madam Chair.
Okay, I'm going to open the chair up for any comments, any input. I know that we do have several people who want to share ideas with us. And I know Mr. Commissioner Brewer sent me a very comprehensive package. Is he still on? Commissioner Brewer?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'm here, present.
Want to tell us a little bit about your organization and what you do, and we'll look at that and move forward for the next agenda. But we're into new business now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, for the past 16 years, I have been the founder and executive director of the Jack Brewer Foundation. Our core mission is driven by helping the most underserved Black communities in the world. And so that includes our work, extensive work in Africa and Haiti through our orphanage programs, food security initiatives, and particularly helping folks get raised out of poverty. Over the past decade, we've had a heavy focus here in the United States in regards to our Black male population. As a former NFL player, I was able to avoid many of my ups and downs. When my family members were going to prison, I was going to college, and I was able to live the American dream through sports. And really the difference as I started to do more research and as our organization started to do more research, everything really pointed back to fatherlessness. Just as Madam Chair pointed out with her organization, I think we all would agree that particularly a Black boy needs a man, needs a fatherly influence, but more importantly needs discipline and respect, to respect their elders and understand really what it takes to raise a family and be a productive member of the community. And so we can get that in all different ways. At our organization, we've established a Servant Institute, which now we work in the communities here across South Florida and taking these young boys and giving them an opportunity to play sports and giving them an opportunity to have mentorship and actually somebody to help them with their homework, something that basic, or to put some discipline behind them when they don't go to school, when they don't act right, and teach them how to treat women and how to respect their communities through service. And so we take these kids out and have them, whether clean up trash in their own communities, go help their elders in their communities. And we really believe that through service, it'll bring the humility and respect. And we've had great results. But more importantly, over the past 5 years, we've done extensive research on fatherlessness, both in our criminal justice system, where I've been able to serve in prisons across America. I actually spend 1 day a week inside prisons here in South Florida. And that really is the catalyst to bring me humility and more understanding on some of the issues that are causing so many of our brothers and sisters to be incarcerated. And I got to tell you, it's overwhelming when you see the amount of folks incarcerated that didn't have a father figure in their lives. I mean, overwhelming, saddening, both in prison and then in our juvenile population. I mean, it's for us, it's almost 90% of these kids that don't have a real male influence. And so as we do more research and we see with the reading and math proficiency levels being what they are, it's really saddening. I mean, when you see 5, 6, 7 year gaps for kids that can't read and write properly on their school level. And so when we talk about, as Marvin mentioned, Mr. Williams, the unemployment, I mean, it's hard to get employed if you don't have basic skills and you don't have that fatherly influence. So I think if we look across our society, we'll all see that the majority of our issues stem back to fatherlessness. And it's a sad thing. And so, Madam Chair, what I've done extensive research. As you saw, I've sent you some of the research that we've have put together in our data. We're constantly working on trying to figure out ways to promote folks to join organizations like yours, incentives for other men, because I'm a big believer in God, and the Bible teaches us to go out and serve. And there's a reason why the fatherless and the widow is often spoken about in the Bible, is because it will break down a society if you don't support the fatherless children. And I think that's what we see so often. And so we always encourage folks to go out and break out of their bubbles. Our families go beyond our kids at our own homes. I think it's time for our nation to call upon Black men first, to go out in our communities and start mentoring these boys that need us the most. I think it's a time to call all people really to go out and serve the most underserved. And that is our African-American boys right now. So for me, I am so honored to serve on this commission. I feel like God has brought me here. I'm humbled to serve with each one of you. And our organization is committed, whether it's through research, whether it's through ideas, brainstorming, events, promotion, whatever we can do. I have access to several professional athletes and different community leaders and people that really care about this issue. And I believe, as the chairwoman described earlier, I think this is the catalyst. I think right now this commission and everything that we're discussing, I think we're going to promote fatherhood. And when we talk about racial disparities and racial divide, I think this is the one area that's going to bring everybody together, because we can all agree that something has to be done to stop this crisis. When 71% of our high school dropouts are fatherless,
Thank you.
it's, yeah, when 71% of our high school dropouts are fatherless, we have over 1.7 million high school dropouts in America every year. I mean, those numbers are staggering. It's saddening. We got over 18 million fatherless children in our nation right now. And we know, we look at mental health issues, you're 2.5 times more likely to have a mental health issue if you're fatherless. We look at teen pregnancies and our poor young girls. We look at sex trafficking and all of these things. And just quickly, I won't take up too much time, but I had I had a heart-wrenching story. And it tears me up when I even think about it. I got a group of girls that come to our program, and I started to require them to show me their social media and the things that they're exposing themselves to. And I'm telling you, these kids have their own society now on these social media platforms, where they go back and forth, and these poor little girls are showing themselves in the culture that's been created that most of us probably never see because we're not there in that world. It really is sad. And I think that it starts with the father. It starts with the fatherly influence. And I truly believe that we can help heal this land. So, Chairwoman, whatever I can do, I would love to present to the entire commission some thoughts and ideas in our research to see how we can come and have a bipartisan, unifying approach to this issue.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And in my experience, I've just about moved on. My goal is to make a generation of new fathers, because it's hard. I tried with fathers, trust me. I tried with Dwayne Wade and all of them here to change men, but that's hard. But what we can do is we can build brand new, next generation of fathers. Ask Commissioner Bowman, he knows. I want you to know that I serve on the commission or the council for women and girls in the Congressional Black Caucus also. And I am the champion for Bring Back Our Girls. These are young girls who were kidnapped in Nigeria. And I have gotten most of them back. I have a new group that I'm sending to college who live in Virginia. They're going to be going to Virginia State on a full scholarship. So I do research on, it's a bunch of them, hundreds. So I do research on boys and girls, but let me just share this with you, Mr. Brewer. This is what I have from Florida. And I personally founded a female prison in Miami-Dade County, Dade Correctional female prison. It was founded by Congresswoman Frederica Wilson in 1999. So this is how the prison population stacks up for the state of Florida. Male prisons, 139 prisons. Female prisons, 6. Now that shows you the disparity. Incarcerated Black males in Florida, 39,874. 45.4% of the prison population in the state of Florida. Incarcerated Black females, 1,653, 1.9% of the prison population. So the disparity is huge, and we're on the right track to making a difference with all of this. So I want all of you to join me, and we're going to roll out virtually next month on the year of Black men and boys. And I will be sending you a package of information that you can send out, your communication staff can send out. This is the virtual rollout, and get everybody sensitized to what we're doing. This is Black History Month. So during Black History Month, we will be sensitizing people to the fact that it's time, it's long overdue, that these Black boys need to be checked. We have a staff member
Amen.
at the commission who was on with us yesterday, and her son was murdered by another Black boy. So it's time. How long are we as Black people gonna close our eyes and pretend that this is not a problem, that it's okay, it's all right, but it's not okay? So we're gonna work this out. And then we will have our in-person kickoff for Black men and boys in DC as soon as COVID allows us to. There are so many protocols right now, so we'll give you enough time in advance so you'll know when to roll out. In the meantime, during this new business, I need the staff to prepare a budget and ensure that budget is submitted to my office by March 1st. And we're going to ask Mr. Jeffries to help us with this. We're going to send this budget to appropriations. We're going to increase our budget from last year so that we can get most of this work done. Mr. Bowman called me up and he wanted to beat up everybody in appropriations this year to increase it. And I told him, hold on, we'll do it next year. So we got that going. And then we need to find out who pays for travel. We need to know that by next Friday, so that the committee can begin to think how they're going to plan their work. I need to know if the Department of Education will pay for their appointee, or Mr. How is this going to work? Who pays for travel? We know that travel in per diem is included for the members. They get no salary, but they get travel and per diem. I'm sure that the members, they won't pay for your travel, but maybe not even the different agencies. I'm not sure, but we will expect to know that by next Friday at least, so that we can send that out to the chairpersons of these committees and to the members of the council, the commission. We want to make sure that we can activate an independent social media account by February 1st, because we're going to need that to get the social media out about the commission on the social status of Black men and boys. As commission members, you will begin to receive press clips regarding Black men and boys at least by February 1st. They can work in tandem with my congressional office if we do not have a communications person by then, but hopefully we will. But we want, as a commission, we want to be fully read up and you know, most of you, all of us are. But you know, I'm not gonna play like I know about the children on the internet. And that's a new thing now that they actually threaten children on the internet and then go and kill them. We've had several instances right here in Broward County where a boy was threatened on the internet and they told him they were coming to kill him. He told his mother and they came and killed him right in front of the mother. And these children these are girls and boys, a whole gang of them. And it was all about a girl loving a boy and the boy not loving her. And it's all these new things that's affecting these children that we've got to get a hold of. And when we have our hearings, we've got to bring in the right experts to help us understand and help the nation understand so we can get a hold of this. I'm with you, Mr. Brewer, trust me. Okay. So hopefully by the February 1st, I'll be able to interview a new communications director and a new legislative and policy director. Now, I know that the Congressional Black Caucus, Mr. Jeffries, has a list of people who, and the caucus has a list of people who are qualified. So if you can help us search for the right person to work for the commission who knows all of the bills, who's familiar with all of the bills that have been filed that adversely affect Black men and boys, like the crime bill, like the welfare reform bill, Know Your Bill, your First Step Act. All of these bills we need to know about. And so the George Floyd Act, everything we need to know about so that we can plan how we are going to recommend to the Congressional Black Caucus legislative priorities and bills that members of the Congressional Black Caucus will file. The only members of the legislature that serve on this committee are members of the Congressional Black Caucus. So we have a responsibility as members of the Congressional Black Caucus to file all of the legislation. Lucy, Mr. Bowman, Commissioner Lucy, Commissioner Bowman, Commissioner Jeffries, to file all of the legislation that comes out of this commission. So this is just a heavy lift. Okay. All right, that's why I wrote the bill like this. Okay, so we're gonna also, I will be establishing an ad hoc committee of civil rights, I guess you would call them legends, who will be on call to help us with all of this, with our committee work and everything. And the chair will be me and Reverend Sharpton and Chairwoman Beatty. I'm going to ask that you know that I will serve on every committee. I will serve on all 4 of your subcommittees. And I intend to attend all 4 of your subcommittee meetings. That's just how important this is to me. I'm putting everything else on the back burner except this commission. I told you how old I was, so I don't have much time. So I got to get this right, and you have to help me get it right, because this is a very serious issue. This is, to me, this is the most serious issue for this country. If we can get a handle on Black men and boys and lift them up and give them opportunity, do you know how this would change this nation? Think about it. Just think about it. You think it was some Jewish boys running around carrying AK-47s through the street, shooting up everybody, that this nation would be quiet? No, they would be saying, what can we do? Can we get them scholarships? Can we send them to college? What can we do? Can we love them? Can we hug them? Can we buy them some Sean John suits? Can we get them some sneakers? Get them some earpods? What can we do? We gotta stop this. We gotta stop this. And that's the urgency that we as a commission must be on the same track, the same urgency. Any comments before I close the meeting?
I just want to say, I agree with you 100%. I'm here smiling because I'm so fired up by you and so appreciate your passion. And what you just said, people don't usually say out loud about Jewish boys or any other group of boys for that matter, running around inflicting harm, and how the country would respond differently to that. So I just want to thank you for your leadership, your honesty, and your passion. And I want to underscore what Mr. Brewer said earlier about the importance of father figures, importance of fathers. But father figures are almost as important in terms of mentors, teachers, role models. I didn't realize when I became a teacher in 1999, I didn't know beforehand. When I got into the classroom, I realized it immediately when I walked into the room. But beforehand, I didn't realize that my role was bigger than just the role of a teacher. It was going to be teacher, role model, mentor, and father figure. And I felt that very strongly as soon as I stepped in front of my fourth grade class in 1999. So, you know, for me, I know I'm biased, but I think the answer to every question is education. And the more we could get Black men in education, or people of color, period, in education, to support our Black boys, you know, that it's a really powerful recipe and tool towards solving this problem. In addition to just you know, engaging with Black male role models, male role models of color, and overall role models of color in different industries is really important for our Black boys. Before coming to Congress, you know, seeing Hakeem Jeffries being a leader in Congress as a Black man was very inspirational to me. Seeing Colin Powell before Barack Obama, no one knew who Barack Obama was, but seeing Colin Powell, even though I don't agree with all his politics, but seeing him reach that level of leadership in our country was just powerful for me. And, you know, and I know Chairman Jeffries, Commissioner Jeffries feels this way as well. You know, a lot of hip hop artists growing up, particularly during my era, which was the golden age, to see these men talk about knowledge of self, education, history, uplifting your people. You know, shout out to Chuck D and Public Enemy, Brother J and X-Clan, KRS-One. I mean, these men were like superheroes for me, and I grew up without a father, you know, so I just want to underscore that point, and I share your passion, and this is my life's work as well, I believe, and my calling to do this. And obviously, as a girl dad, you know, my daughter's now 7. Never gonna forget our girls, and I have 4 sisters and no brothers, so I'm always gonna be for my Black women, but our boys, you know, if we can give them the opportunity to unlock their magic and brilliance and strength and excellence and potential, it's over for white supremacy. It's over for settler colonialism. It's over for all this stuff that's been keeping us down, once we, you know, provide the space for them to just be who they truly are.
And I just want to thank you so much, my brother, Commissioner. and I just want to say that the 5,000 Role Models program that I founded is multiracial. It is an in-school mentoring program. So I have Jewish boys in the program, So I know them very well, and I know the gentleman next door to me is a rabbi. So I know what would happen if the example that I just gave, because he sometimes asks me the same thing. You know, how does this just go unchecked? You know, so that's why I use that as an example, because I have all kinds of boys in the program. The 5,000 role models is not a Black boy program because of Title IX, and it's in the, you know, school district. So it is very much integrated. So was someone else trying to speak?
Yes, Madam Chair, that's me, Commissioner Faustin. If I may, could you add me to the Education Commission?
Huh?
It's me, Madam Chair, Commissioner Faustin. I concur with everything Commissioner Brewer and Commissioner Bowman have said. And if you may, could you add me to the Education Committee, please?
Absolutely, absolutely. Commissioner Williams, I hope you have that added. Okay.
Commissioner Wilson, may I speak? Commissioner Marshall? May I speak? This is Commissioner Marshall.
Yes, yes.
A couple of things. First of all, I really appreciate the remarks, Commissioner Brewer and Commissioner Bowman. I'm a little bit older than you, but can we bring those rappers back? Because we ain't got nothing like that right now. Can we say? I know Chuck. If we could use a healthy dose of Chuck D, X-Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers, all of them right now. Because the guys we got running around out there now, well, put like this, my young people don't listen to them, which is a problem. I want to say thank you, Commissioner Wilson, for having people on the commission who actually are having success with young men, because a lot of us have ideas and knows what produces that success. So we may be working with a population that is having some challenges, but a lot of us have ideas about and have successes with young people and can identify things to make that success happen. So thank you for having folks like myself on the commission that are having success. And I'd like to say, is it possible for us to get contact information for everyone? I don't have that. Is that possible, or is that taboo?
What we will probably do is, it's only 19 of us, so we're gonna set up a group chat. So on that group chat, we will be able to talk to each other. You will have all the information of everybody, and you could go back and forth, because it's a lot of things that it would save me time from having to call each and every one of you if we could set up a group chat. So that would be perfect.
That would help, because I would like to contact each of the commissioners individually. I think the closer we get, the more we're able to flesh out each other's thoughts will only benefit the whole group.
And another thing, if you have information that you would like to send to the to the fellow commissioners, you can also forward those to me, and I'll make sure that they get them by way of email, because we're going to be sending out every morning. I get press clips regarding, and it's not just press, but it's information regarding Black men and boys. So if you have information regarding Black men and boys that you want us to disseminate to everybody, we can really do that.
Lastly, I'd like to say Dr. King's birthday is coming up next Monday, and I think he would be very happy with what we're doing here to continue the work of the dream that he worked so hard for. So I just want to mention that, and it's not a small thing. A lot of people worked hard to make that a national holiday, and certainly he gave his life for this. So again, in honor of Dr. King, thank you.
Thank you.
And Chair Wilson, in that regard, because it is MLK celebration and acknowledgement all over the country, would it be befitting for this commission to put out a statement?
Yes, we can.
Celebration in support of MLK Day.
Right, and I thought I sent to each of you a flyer for you to join the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence breakfast, virtual breakfast, that we will have Mr. Imhoff, the husband of the vice president, and Don Lemon as the headliners. Did any of you get that? You got that? Okay. But we will put out a statement from the commission acknowledging Dr. King's birthday. And if possible, well, I don't know if everybody's on here. It's the majority of us, but I would say a screenshot of this meeting to say, you know, just how you do your Christmas cards with the family. So this is our family. Can somebody take a copy, a picture of this screen? Marvin, is there somebody in the office who could take a picture of this screen so we can include this in our Martin Luther King greeting? Hold your head up, Congresswoman Beatty. Okay, smile. Everybody smile. They're going to take a picture. They got it? They have it? Mr. Williams, Commissioner Williams? Okay. All right. Miss Beatty, I don't know. I think you had left, but I did announce that you, Reverend Sharpton, and I will be chairing an ad hoc committee of civil rights. You heard me? Okay.
Yes, I did. And thank you for adding me to that. And let me just echo all of the words that were said by my fellow commissioners about the importance of this committee, but more importantly, about saving the lives of young Black boys and men. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Any other comments? Commissioner?
Madam Chair.
Wait, we got Miss Macbeth, and then somebody else said Madam Chair instead of Commissioner Wilson. Commissioner Macbeth.
Commissioner Wilson, thank you so very much. In regards to everything that we've talked about today, is there a way possible that we might be able to have a copy of just all the standing committees and all those individuals that have been assigned to those standing committees, you know, sometime, so that I'd like to be able to connect with those individuals that are on the committee. So having like their email addresses, or at least know that we're assigned to the committees would be really good, because if we are expected to go ahead and begin working together, then I think we need to connect as quickly as we possibly can.
Yes, and I'm hoping that you all together will set up a group text. You're on the criminal justice one.
Yes.
So the criminal justice committee will be, think about it. We can't really do much now because of COVID. You know, because we want to have these in-person kinds of things in the judiciary space. So we're hoping that COVID will dissipate. After a while, this new variant has ravaged my own personal family. So,
well, Commissioner Wilson, there's another question. May I ask? I'm sorry. But in regards to the fact that, you know, we know that COVID is still a problem right now, and we don't want anything to infringe upon our ability to be able to do our work, whether COVID is, you know, raging right now or not. Like specifically in our committee, criminal justice and civil rights. I mean, we will have the ability to be able to do Zooms with those entities, those organizations, in the event that we're not able to physically be able to get on the ground, because I think it's still being able to establish relationships, start those communications, and start building what this looks like in our relationship to the work that we're going to be doing with these entities. We can still go ahead and start doing that, correct?
well, what we were waiting for is to hire up. We're not fully hired up with staff. So
Right.
as we get staff hired, then you can start to do that, because someone has to staff your committee.
Right.
So we have to, we don't have that right now. So that's what I intend to, that's why I was asking Hakeem about a list of people who, and if you know of people who will serve these different openings we have on the commission, because we have the budget. We just need the staff to begin.
Okay, so So then do we just tell you if we know of individuals that might be willing to assist or help?
You can tell me and I'll tell the Commissioner Williams, or you could tell Commissioner Williams. Tell us both.
Okay,
So
thank
that-
you.
So, and you know, but it doesn't stop you from communicating and planning with cohorts. And it's not a lot of you. It's almost just like 5.
Right.
So, you know, but this is going to be a great way to address all of the issues affecting these young men. And I'm going to say this, and this will kind of piggyback on what Mr. Bowman said. Whenever there's a high through the years, now the role models is 30 years old, was 30 years old in November. So through the years, whenever there was a high profile murder regarding a Black boy in my community, I always got permission from the attorney, from the public defender, from the state attorney, and from that person's attorney to visit them in prison after they have been sentenced, or many I met with in jail. And I would always ask them one question: what could I have done? And I've been a senator, whatever, House member, all of this. I say, what could I have done as a school principal or as a member of the Senate, of the Florida Senate, to help you or prevent you from being where you are today? And without question, they all say, if only I had somebody who would listen to me and that I could turn to and confide in, and who would guide me. And it's all back to what Commissioner Bowman said: a teacher, a mentor, a neighbor, nobody. So these kids are raising each other, the peers. They have nobody. So that's what we're gonna create and bring this kind of sensitivity to our nation. Do we have another?
Commissioner Wilson, as we wind down, this is Commissioner Jeffries. Just wanted to thank you for your leadership, your vision and your execution. I look forward to working closely with you, all of the distinguished commissioners, certainly my colleagues, fellow commissioners from the Congressional Black Caucus, and I associate myself with what Joyce and Lucy and of course Jamal had to say in his powerful statement. Here in Brooklyn, we often have said that if we, as a community, don't take the time to give our Black men and boys opportunity to allow their natural talents to flourish, the system will continue to seize the opportunity to give our children some time in juvenile, time in isolation, time in the prison industrial complex. And so we have this moment right now, because of the creation of the commission, that is really extraordinary. And it's a moment, we have the passion, I can hear that when everyone talks, but also opportunity because of at least current policy alignment, within the White House, the Department of Justice as represented on the commission, and of course in the Congress. And let's just all, seize this moment to be able to advance the ball for our Black men and boys consistent with your vision. And I look forward to working with all of you in that regard.
Thank you so much. And you all know who this is, right? How powerful he is. I mean, this is the first, he is the chairperson of the Democratic caucus, this young brother right here, this Commissioner Jeffries. And so all of us are just so proud of him. Not only the Congressional Black Caucus, but the nation is as Black people. He is one of the best, and we definitely are proud of him. So any other comments for the good of the order?
Move
Commissioner,
for adjournment.
who was it? Raise your hand, because I can't
Move for adjournment.
move for adjournment. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposers?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Happy Martin Luther King birthday. And we'll see you next month. Bye-bye.